We're here in the small town of Chemung, New York, where this town has found their own local brewery.
Exit 59 right off 86. We're about to find out what's on tap at Diversion Brewing Company. Across the nation, people have turned the hobby of crafting beer into a lifestyle. Amazing breweries are only a few minutes away from your own home.
From nano to regional or micro to macro, the question you won't need to ask is what's on tap.
Having just celebrated their 4-year anniversary, Dan and Dutch opened up Diversion Brewing Company right here in Dan's backyard.
These guys have been going up and up and up since they opened, and everyone's been telling us to come here, and we're excited to be here. Let's go check it out. Dutch, Dan, thank you guys for joining us here. You know, we've been hearing a lot about Diversion, and it's quickly for us to get down here. So, you know, Diversion, when did you guys start here? When did you guys open up?
What was it, 2015?
15 is our 4th year, so
we started doing the construction in 2015, and we pretty much gutted the whole barn and then opened in 2016, right?
Yep. It was July 2016. Just had our 4-year anniversary this year. Started with a 3-barrel brew house, and since then we've upgraded to a 7-barrel, so that's our latest and greatest. So.
How'd you come upon this spot?
So I grew up in the house here, and we were looking for places to open up just downtown Waverly and just looking at different places, and we weren't impressed with anything. And then my dad just offered up. He said, hey, why don't you guys just move into the barn here?
Can't beat that.
He said, yeah, we'll take you up on that.
That was an easy sell for us. So.
We had convinced him to move all his junk out of the barn first, but
it's not that bad. You just get off the exit, you just drive down that same road that you get off the exit for, off what are we on, 86?
86 now, yeah, it used to be 17.
Yep, just exit 59 and a mile off the highway, so it's easy drive to get
Not
here.
even, I think it was like a half mile off the highway, whatever the GPS said.
8/10 of a mile, if you want to get fancy, but yeah.
It's cool. I mean, this is a nice place. It feels really just like, feel like you're in New York with being in the barn, especially this part of New York. A lot of people, if you're from a different state, you think New York and you think city. But when I think of New York, I think of what's going on here. And it's just this area, and you're encompassing a lot of just what New York really is. Are you using it as it's a barn? You think of farm. Is it a lot of ingredients, farm ingredients? Are you a farm brewery or?
Yep. So we are a farm brewery. We do use all New York State malt and all of our beers. That's the only malt we use now is just strictly New York malt. So we do have the farm license, which is nice. It allows us to have some ciders available as well from local farm cideries and wineries as well. So we can we get some winery stuff in as well from Lakewood and Heron Hill, and there's an apple orchard up the street that we partnered up with every year that we do a kind of collaboration with them. They drop us off about 50 to 60 gallons of cider, and we'll add that to one of our beers, and we make a Appley Berry that we have, which is just a beer and kind of pumpkin hybrid beer is what we do with them. So it's kind of a fun way to incorporate everybody.
It's a really cozy spot. You come in here, like you said, you got the heaters going. You can come in, have a few beers. You still got the doors open, nice cool breeze. You have the nice outdoor space.
Yeah.
That's a really nice addition. That had to have been huge, especially this year.
Yeah, when we first opened, we didn't have the covered patio, and we quickly realized that we needed something out there to keep people dry when it's raining out, and people just enjoy the outdoor space. I mean, especially nowadays with the COVID going on, it's definitely been beneficial for us to have all that outdoor space and for people to sit out there and enjoy music and food trucks and the beer, obviously.
There's something different about being outside, drinking a beer outside, having something to eat
outside. It feels natural.
Yeah, it does. That's where you should be.
Well, that was a nice thing too. Is when we were looking at the places down in in Waverly, there was really no place that fit what we wanted to do or what we wanted. If we wanted to have music and food trucks and all this stuff, there was no way any place that had on-street parking we would be able to do the events that we can do here with just having the outdoor space. In the summertime, people they're bringing their own lawn chairs in, bringing in their blankets, and just setting up all over on the all over the grass and everything. So it's kind of a nice vibe in the summertime when it's just all outdoor kind of vibe going on. So
the name Diversion. So where's Diversion come from?
Well, it kind of stemmed a little bit from our initials both are DLB, so we kind of wanted DB in there somewhere, and then of course we came up with DB Brewing, which was just eventually turned into Diversion Brewing anyways. And our theory was just kind of, it's a bit of a diversion to get here. Of course, take a diversion from your daily life and come on out and have a beer with us.
And the fact that we're off the beaten path a little bit.
Yeah, we're certainly in the middle of nowhere.
It's actually right now you need a diversion from everything going on, and it's a good spot to come and get that diversion.
Fits on a lot of levels.
I like that. And then brewing in general. So how did you guys get into brewing, and when did that happen?
We were both homebrewing separately, and my wife and I went to high school with his wife. So we kind of went over there, and when we first met Dutch, I was kind of like, yeah, I've been homebrewing, and he's like, wait, you homebrew? And then we kind of started doing it together, and we did some local fundraisers where we could serve our beer, just give it out for free, just to see what people thought. And people actually liked it, so we kind of evolved from there, from the kitchen stove up to the brewing in the garage, and then doing the all grain. And then we were just sitting around a campfire one night, and Lisa was like, we should start a effing brewery, to be politically correct.
That was the exact term.
And it took off from there. That kind of got the bug in our ear, and we started looking for places, and here we are.
As far as your actual brewing process, are you still using stuff that you guys did at home? Is it just kind of you two collaborating? Is there anybody else involved? Things like that?
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us, yeah.
We try to do everything with the whole built not bought kind of theory. So like this whole brewery, like even on like the construction side, like everything was literally built by us. All this rusty tin that's around here. I used to have an old chicken coop. It was like a 20 by 60 chicken coop. This is actually the roof off of that chicken coop.
That's cool.
All the red the siding on the front of the bar. That's actually the siding off of that chicken coop.
Wow.
Like the beams that are here. That's actually the roofing that all of this was nailed to. The door that separates the tap room from the brewery, that's the front door of my house. Yeah. So we've recycled, upcycled,
nothing goes to waste.
We're also cheap too. So
that also helps too.
Making money.
If you want to save money, you got to do it yourself.
Walking in here, we saw the list, and I was blown away by the variety that you guys have here. It seems like you have almost every type of beer covered on that list, including your seasonals. And in the time you guys have been open, I'm curious, was there ever a point, a certain day, maybe you had a really good day or something like that, you're like, wow, I think we really have something here. Like, I think we are on to something big. To the point that maybe this becomes like your top priority. Like, this is number one.
It's kind of interesting because it really turned into something we never anticipated. Like when we first opened up, we had 6 of our beers on tap, 1 guest tap, and a root beer available. So we were just completely content with just 6 beers, and with just our 6 beers. And we were like, let's go down, let's do this lane for a while. And then we realized we have some more room on our tap wall. We're like, let's drill another hole, let's throw another beer on. And then we got up to, so then like, well, let's take the guest tap off, let's put our beer on there. Or let's get rid of the root beer, let's put our beer. So now we're up to 8. And then let's drill 2 more holes in the wall, let's put 2 more taps in. Next thing you know, we're up to 10. Now we're up to 14 beers.
Yeah, we had to do double taps on everything.
Yeah, because we ran out of room, so now we got to do the 1 into 2 taps. And so it honestly turned into something we never anticipated. We were under the under the idea of just keeping it low key and just making a fun little hobby on the side. And now we're somehow still working our real jobs and still pulling this off, which amazes me that it's working out as well it has. And we have a lot of happy customers, and we've been happy with the turnout and the growth, and so it's been a.
Of course, the end game is to do this full time.
You just celebrated 4 years, right? Is that what you said, 4-year anniversary?
Yep.
What's next? What are you guys planning on doing next? What do you want to do next? Expand? I know we mentioned it a little bit on camera, but what is next for you guys?
So first step, when it's getting colder here and we slow down a little bit, we're working on moving all the brewing equipment we currently have it just behind the tasting room here, but we're moving it over to the barn side. Just basically insulating over there, putting heat over there. Getting a few more fermenters so we can keep up with the summertime rush, and getting that all set up. Once we do that, we'll probably blow up this wall here behind the tasting room. You probably can't see it on camera, but blowing that out and extending the bar out so we can have a little more room for tasting in here. We did get a little canning machine, as well as cans to start doing some 4-packs as well and getting that out a little bit. Is another option. So yeah, it's the next steps at least, and we'll see where that takes us from there.
All right, so your brew house here. So what kind of system you got? Obviously you said, this is like homemade. All your stuff here is all homemade, right?
Yeah, they just, that was a tank from an auction. We don't know what it was in the past, but it turned into an electric brew house is what it did. So we have, like I said, we have a friend who knows how to weld, and so we dropped off a tank and we kind of show them where we wanted all of our tri-clamp ports. And so we went all electric with ours just because it's quiet, it's efficient, works easy. We like it. We don't have to have an open flame anywhere. It's just direct heat. We really enjoy it. Works good for our system. Obviously, any bigger than this, anything bigger than 7 barrels probably not going to work. So we're kind of at our limit as far as the electric goes. But yeah, 7-barrel brew house. And
7-barrel. You got a lot of beers on tap, but how often are you brewing every day?
So we're not brewing every day, but we brew pretty much every Wednesday. We're turning a beer around, obviously with just the 2 fermenters we have right now. It's one sitting for 2 weeks. Occasionally, if we got to let one sit longer, we will. But for the most part, it's a 2-week turnaround on all of our beers. So we can kind of every Wednesday we're kegging a beer with it, and then we're putting a beer right back in it. I mean, as soon as it's empty and clean and sanitized, it's more beer's going right back in it. So it's never empty for more than 2 hours.
So we got something in there right now.
Yeah, both of them are full right now.
What are they full with? Anything new or?
Nothing new. Just trying to catch back up with the regulars since we have all the seasonals on tap right now. That kind of took away all the regulars. You saw all the out signs up there. But we have cream ale on this one, which is the crowd pleaser. That's kind of just like your light-based beer that we make. And then this one's Empire's Key, which is our New England IPA. That's obviously popular and that's out right now. But so we have a lot of customers complaining about that.
Kind of speaking about that, you have your crowd favorites here. How often are you coming out with new and different beers?
It's kind of hard to say, to be honest with you. We just make the beer we like to make, to be honest with you. Like there's really, like there is a couple standards that we will always keep available. We just, the cream ale, 529 amber. We always just try to, Empire's Key, they're just some of our standards that we like to have. But at the same time though, we're not partial to just be like, well, do you feel like making something new? So, a couple weeks ago we made a white stout with, white chocolate and coffee.
I saw that coming in. That was really intriguing.
It was really good. It's just something different if you want to. If there's something we like, or if we drink someone else's beer that something we enjoyed about the beer, we'll make our own version of it.
Come back and say, I want to try making one of those, and that's the nice thing about being a small brewery too. You can just say, I just want to make it.
Won't have these beers on tap. That sucks, but you guys have a lot of the beers. We're excited to try them.
Yeah, I can't wait to try them.
I think it's time for us to pour four. All right, so pour four, guys. Look at these flight boards, the glasses. This is really something different, and the flight boards are different. Like these are really nice.
Great setup.
So what's cool about the flight boards is since we kind of what we were talking about earlier, with we know somebody that likes to work with their hands about every department we do. So my uncle actually he wanted to do something for the brewery, kind of contribute in his own way. So he was like. He's like, I'd like to do something for you guys. And I'm like, well, I need some flight boards made. And he goes, let me make them for you. And I gave him a few ideas that I had, and he essentially cut me off and he goes, well, I have my own idea. So give me, I'll give you my idea if you like it. If you don't, throw it away and we'll go with your idea. So this is his first idea. So he cut them out, made the boards, and then Dan's wife did all the painting and dolled them up for us.
Yeah, the tasting glasses are just little mason jars because our actual pints are mason jar pints. So we kind of kept the theme with that as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll start where you guys want to start. Where are you thinking?
All right, so let's start with our Pillsbury beer. So this is going to be a raspberry pale ale. It's going to be all the way on your right here. It's just a simple recipe, just 2-row grain and a lot of raspberry puree.
We like to use a lot of a fresh puree too, rather than just extract. Just gives it more of an authentic flavor, I'd say, and it tastes a lot better, I'd say.
A little jammy.
Yeah.
The way raspberry jam tastes is what I'm getting with this, but it feels just like. What you get with a Pilsner, like super light, and it feels, just goes down like nothing.
This is a popular one in summertime for us, so we always try to keep this on tap when it's nice and hot out.
Yeah, you could sit there and have 3-4 of these. It's a subtle raspberry. Yeah. Like it's not a boom. Here it is. This is
we didn't want to go down the just drinking a
puree beers that are out now.
Yeah, be really sweet and syrupy, and it's nice. It's light, it's refreshing. Exactly, it's super crisp.
But I like what I was just saying, with like a raspberry and jam. It just kind of reminds me of that, and I don't know, maybe it's a mason jar too, where you feel like you put jam in a mason jar.
The next one is going to be Session IPA. It's going to be Sunny Side Up.
And we modeled this one kind of after All Day IPA because that was kind of our initial IPA that you just drink all day, obviously with the name. But we just wanted a nice light IPA that you could drink. You could have a couple of them.
That's the nice thing with Sessions. It feels like IPAs have been like the gold rush of craft beer over the last several years. And the nice thing with Session is that you can still get that flavor, the nice IPA flavor, but you're not going to be gone after 2 of them.
So you're talking about Founders all day?
To me, that's such a solid beer. Like it's a beer you can keep in your fridge as like your house beer, and you know it's good from day one till whenever. It's just something I always keep in the house at all times. So
It's kind of like our generation's Coors Light, I'd say.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it.
The IPAs, it has such a different taste for beer, and it's sometimes it is difficult when you're wanting to have a couple IPAs, especially if you want to come and not, you know, lose your head. You want to still have a level head after a couple. You know, with whether it's the ABU or ABV, whatever it is, you know, that's the heaviness. No, this is super easy to drink. I love that. I love that with an IPA, and that's what's good about the all day. But for your guys, the Sunny Side, this is great. This is the way this is so easy. I can drink this one just as much as the Pillsbury here.
Yeah, it's almost like a toned down West Coast style IPA. That's what I'm getting from it. It's nice.
Tastes great, guys.
Yep. Next one's gonna be pumpkin.
The Gourd-Yam-It.
Yep. Gourd-Yam-It. This is our pumpkin beer. It's our seasonal beer.
Gourd-Yam-It.
Gourd-Yam-It. We make this every October, of course. Even though we're getting ready to make a second batch of it, we went through it.
It goes through a lot faster than we usually expect.
Yeah. We cleared out our first edition of it awful quick, so we sent it again. So this one's got we use sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato that's baked with some brown sugar on top, and then we do the pumpkin puree and all the associated spices within it, cinnamon, sugar, and all that stuff.
I can say I love anything pumpkin. This time of year, there's something about it. I have my pumpkin coffee creamer. I also love pumpkin beer. I can honestly say this is one of the best pumpkin style beers I have ever had. It is not like an overpowering punch in your face, because it's usually all spice. Like you get that nutmeg, the cinnamon, all that. I think it's the sweet potato in it.
Yeah,
that's something a little different. It's not
like a
as
lingering
sweet.
sweetness.
Yeah, but it sits there, and it's just very well balanced. It's still smooth enough. It's got a great color to it too. This is really well done.
I'm on the same page of like, I think it's just, we have to admit that we just love pumpkin.
Yeah.
We're just as basic as everyone else at this time.
I was getting ready to say
avoid it. Yeah.
Oh man,
Basic, yeah.
I love
You got your Uggs on down
everything.
there?
Yeah, no, I feel like well, I got Crocs in the car while I'm driving. So I was saying to you guys before off camera, I was talking about how I've had other pumpkin beers and I just wasn't finding exactly what I was looking for. I found one last year where I was like, wow, like that's what I'm looking for. And as we've been doing the show, we've been starting to try different pumpkin beers that each place is having, and I'm having like better and better and better pumpkin beer, and I'm on the same page here. This pumpkin beer is unreal. Like this tastes, and I gotta agree, because I'm tasting that sweet potato too, and I love sweet potato. Don't even think about putting that in beer. You know, it's just, that's not something that's ever crossing my head.
Yeah.
And I'm getting it there, and it lingers, it holds on to the end, and it makes for a really nice tasting beer. It just drinks so well, and I just love that. I love pumpkin too, you know?
I'm a sucker for it.
What a nice
so.
combination. I mean, it kind of makes me think of Thanksgiving. Like, you think about, like, I always, my grandma would make pumpkin bread, and I'm the only one who would eat pumpkin bread. I ate maybe, there was a whole loaf, I would eat half the loaf. Is that a surprise? I don't know. But I would eat half the loaf of pumpkin bread just at Thanksgiving, but I'd have that, and we'd have the sweet potatoes with it, and it was just like, I don't know, that's what I think about, and that combination, it makes me think about it, and this is gonna be coming out as we get closer to Thanksgiving here, so.
I feel like it's a very underrated holiday.
Yeah.
Like my mom makes pumpkin roll every single year. Saying this would go so well with that for dessert.
Last but not least.
This one's Red or Alive. This one's it's kind of a fun beer. We do this one once a year.
Once a year.
We brew it with Michigan Copper wet hops. So we actually, the day they pull these off of the vines at the hop farm, and when I say the day, I mean literally. I was there as the vines were coming off of off the trellises and into the trailer, and they were sending them through their equipment and just spitting them out into I think we had like 45 pounds of fresh Michigan Copper hops, just in a big old sack, and they were just shooting right out. So as soon as we got done with them, Dan was already getting the brewing process.
The mash tun and everything, yeah.
He was getting the mash tun going and the whole brewing process. So as he's getting it ready and getting it going, I'm driving back from Addison, New York, which was Crooked Creek Hop Farm. And Chris set us up with the hops, and we come here and we throw them right in the boil kettle. So you're talking a 2-hour window of off the vine to in the boil kettle.
Wow. It's the freshest it's going to get then.
Yeah, you don't get any fresher than this, which is
probably the best day as a brewer to like go out and actually go to the farm, and
absolutely.
And it smells awesome in your car on the way home. It's like the best air freshener you've ever had.
I've started. We've had a couple more wet hops, and I think it's just because it's the time of the year where like everything's getting harvested, and you can just throw it right into a wet hop beer. And I love red ales. I mean, just any red beer. It's a very smooth drinking beer. A little bit of the bitterness, a little bit there, right there at the end. And I mean, great red ale. I love it. I like the wet hops too because it gives you it's a fresh taste. It's a really fresh taste that you get with that, and it just goes well, really well.
This balance is always good between the malt and the hops. I always this is probably my favorite beer that we make is just this one because I like the idea of working with another hop farm and someone that's local, and of course we get to make a good beer out of it, and we'll send him some beer for sending us some hops.
A lot of fun,
Yeah, this is an insane amber ale. This is very unique because usually amber I feel like you get a little more malty. Whereas this, I'm getting a little more bitter from those hops. I think it must be because of the freshness, getting them right off the vines, like you said, getting them in there going. It's it's definitely different, but I love it at the same time.
This has been awesome. I finished each one of them. I always like when I do that. It's just, it makes you feel like,
I mean,
each one drinks really good.
That means we did our job right. Then if you finish your beer, that means we did our job.
This is awesome. I mean, I'm looking forward to what you guys coming next. I mean, there's gonna be some big things for Diversion here. And again, we are here because of everyone saying, we've had a lot of people say, you guys gotta go to Diversion.
And the thing is, we haven't even really gone through the entire list of what you guys have to offer. Like, to be able to hit these 4, it's a great taste of what there is here at Diversion, but there's still so much more, so many different, like I said, varieties earlier. There's pretty much something for everybody here, it seems like.
It's our Gourd-Yam-It. It's one of our favorite fall beverages here. Also, all of their beers that we drink here are delicious. It's one of our favorite places. We are here probably every weekend. Most of the times we bring the dogs, hang out, but we just got in from out of town where we were at some bigger breweries, and the first thing I said to him was, I want to go home, which is
Small town brewery,
our small town brewery. So.
We go around, we go up to Elmira, go up to Port Creek, and I say it's the best brewery in 40 miles.
If it's one of the beers here, you know, there's all these different restaurants in the area, places that want to put beer on tap. How can a place get a hold of you guys to put that together?
Honestly, we can a couple different ways. Of course, you can just go on our website. We have a contact form. So if there's something, questions anybody has, we have a contact form on the website. Of course, Facebook's always an easy way to get a hold of us too. So, any bar can get our beer if they just call and ask us. We don't have a sales team out there pushing it, but we can certainly, if somebody wants it, just give us a call. We'll drop it off. So, pretty easy.
So that wraps up our day here at Diversion Brewing Company. We can't thank Dan, Dutch, everyone here at Diversion enough. I mean, this day has been incredible, and thank you guys for suggesting this place. This is unreal. I can't wait to come back here.
Yeah, this is one we've been hearing a lot from you guys. I'm really so glad we came out here. Absolutely incredible. They are prepared for anything. Warm weather, cold weather. Unlike you are not dressed for the weather that we're at today.
Not ready.
But I certainly am. They are too. They have great beers all year long, and we can't wait to show them off to you. Be sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere you can, so you can see where our journey takes us next on What's on Tap.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's get another beer.
Let's do it.